Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all, the one called woman! Hey, look.
You off your head or what? Huh?
That doesn't make sense.
Training kicks in. It's muscle memory. Just like that. Reflexes. It's
Unpopular opinion, but I don't think women should be in the workplace, and it's not because they don't work as hard or they have smaller brains. Wink. It's because they suffer from tummy aches and headaches. They suffer from tummy aches and headaches, and to put it simply, my man body does not allow me to suffer from tummy aches and headaches unless I have chronic diarrhea or cancer. And in which case, I'm not going to the doctor for either of those things. Why? Because I'm too busy working.
XYFM. The news. Kakada. Remember this one?
A brother by the screen name Marlin's Beer did a little social experiment during a job search. The resumes with the added vaginal prowess got invited for an interview 9 times as often.
Well, it gets better. Not really. The medical school inside the University of Toronto will henceforth reserve 75%, not 7.5, 75% of their spots for diversity, equity, and inclusion applicants. Simultaneously, the University of Ottawa has mandated their psychology program to be filled with 67% non-white applicants.
Diversity!
Which, funny enough, is supposed to include women. Minority rights, my ass. New Zealand. Oh, it's you again. Welcome back. A commander of the New Zealand Navy sunk a $100 million naval vessel, the first New Zealand naval ship sunk since World War II. Under the skillful and competent leadership of Commander Yvonne Gray, a British lesbian, the HMNZS Manawan, I thought those guys speak English, crashed into a reef caught on fire and sank off the coast of Samoa, sparking environmental concerns, which, of course, is way more important to the media and general populace than the 75 crew members that had to be rescued in the dark of night, 2 of them needing a trip to the hospital. Well done, Mrs. Gray. Well fucking done. The Defense Force said the exact cause of the grounding is unknown and will require further investigation. Well, I have a suspicion.
Never in a million years teach my girls that they have to grow up to be reliant on a man, as you can well imagine. I would never teach my son that he should be attracted.
But Tracy, you're the same one. You're the same one who bragged that she's so strong and so tough and doesn't need a man's money. Yet you're taking alimony.
I have 3 children.
Okay, Mark.
You know what?
So, but you don't need a man's money.
All right, well, that's it.
Who do you think would be a better pilot of this aircraft? Me, 6 cocktail seats, or a female pilot? I would take you on a heavy dose of fentanyl over a female pilot. Amen, brother.
I don't blame you.
Did somebody say
slave?
We just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down. Fire department's on site.
Go back 60 passengers, 4 crew, and 3 military service members are presumed dead.
Must have been a woman pilot, eh?
Airlines regional jet collided with an...
I don't think so.
You think about it mathematically. If there's 10 times as many male engineers as there are female engineers, and you insist upon hiring 50-50, then obviously the degree to which the female engineers are proficient cannot be the same as the degree to which the male engineers are proficient. It's mathematically impossible.
It really doesn't take a genius to know that gender should have nothing to do with your qualifications when people's lives are on the line.
Us, the Delta team.
Who are there from the second you check in
to the moment you land.
Making sure that whatever you have planned goes as planned.
No, thank you.
Red means stop. Great. Green means go. Good. Yellow's the other one.
Washington, D.C. President Scamilto has released her latest campaign ad, and to the surprise of no one, it is a lengthy and mind-numbing piece of misandric horseshit.
I'm a man.
I'm a man.
I'm a man, man.
And I'm man enough.
I'm man enough to enjoy a barrel-proof bourbon.
Neat.
Man enough to cook my steak rare.
Man enough to deadlift 500, then braid the out of my daughter's hair.
You think I'm afraid to rebuild a carburetor? I eat carburetors for breakfast.
I ain't afraid of bears.
That's what bear hugs are for.
I'll tell you another thing I sure as shit am not afraid of. Women.
I'm not afraid of women.
I'm not afraid of women.
They want to control their bodies? I say go for it.
They want to use IVF to start a family? I'm not afraid of families.
They want to be childless cat ladies?
Have all the cats you want.
Woman wants to be president?
Well, I hope she has the guts to look me right in the eye and accept my full-throated endorsement.
Because I'm man enough to support women.
Man enough to know what kind of donuts I like.
Man enough to admit I'm lost, even when I refuse to ask for directions.
Man enough to not ban young women from reading Little Women.
Or one of those pants books that the sisters like.
I'm man enough to raw dog a flight. It sucked. Not worth it.
I'm man enough to be emotional in front of my wife.
In front of my kids.
In front of my horse.
I'm man enough to tell you that I cry at Love Actually.
Good Will Hunting.
West Side Story.
That and Predator.
And I'm sick of so-called men domineering, belittling, and controlling women just so they can feel more powerful.
That's not how my mama raised me.
I love women.
I love women who support their families.
Women who decide not to have families.
Women who take charge.
And I'm man enough to help them win.
Wow.
How could space be real if I can touch the other side of this car, the same car that takes up the same amount of space on a road as a bus? But on a bus, you have one side to sit, another side to sit, and a whole walkway down the center. But on the road or a parking spot, it would take up the same amount of space as this car that I can do that in. Does not make sense.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
It's science.
We'll give it to the chat that said I'm crazy. Yeah, I'm f***ing crazy and I don't give a f***. How about that?
And dumb.
I'm not dumb. I'm definitely not dumb.
Are you sure?
I'm a 138 IQ. I'm not dumb.
You don't have 138
I do have
IQ.
130 IQ.
You can't count to 138.
We've got this video here, girl power. She's curling your bench press for warm-ups. 100 kilos or 220 pounds. Let's see how the form is. So it's just a preacher curl. Good for the biceps, isolating. Just waiting for the reps to be performed. Just waiting for the reps to be performed. Yeah, not sure what that is. I don't think that's a rep though, to be honest. Range of motion's pretty poor.
Wow!
What do you want?
Oh, I want my shit. What are you talking about? I want my shit. I want my shit.
Meanwhile.
No, you fed up to me in the tag. I'm supposed to say WWE jump.
Mine.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
Oh my God.
And that concludes the lessons for the day.
Family Court. Women's incessant and unyielding demands for unearned privileges, thinly disguised as the in all likelihood most deluded, ludicrous, and obscene pipe dream to ever have been excreted by the minds of communist swine. Equality! Has come back full circle to bite them in the BBL. Lovely. United States. A professor at the University of Kansas who called for all men who refused to vote for President Scameltoad to be lined up and shot has been fired. Lovely. If we could only start extending the same courtesy to women inciting violence against men, maybe humanity would still stand a chance. After all, I wouldn't hold my breath on it. Western world. Women's incessant and unyielding demands to be given legal impunity for their infinite gush of bogus allegations, to enable lawfare against men, state-sanctioned proxy violence, and the nefarious transfer of wealth from those who produce value to those who can't or won't. Thinly disguised as a good-hearted attempt to legislate safety and equality! for women has come back full circle to bite them in the BBL. Lovely. India. A court in Bareilly sentenced a lying gracious female to 4.6 years in prison for false rape accusations. We know she won't last a week before she's released because some guard got her pregnant, but you have to celebrate the small victories, you know, because positivity. And that shall be enough gushy feel-good nonsense.
And the more I've spoken about feminism, the more I have realized that fighting for women's rights has too often become synonymous with man-hating. If there is one thing I know for certain, it is that this has to stop.
Something that a lot of women have wrong about men is they think that men are about domination and control. And I actually think ultimately what men want, I think they want to be loved and appreciated and seen for their sacrifices. And I don't think that's what our society is doing right now.
I go to work every day. There are sacrifices that I make as a father all the time. I'm not around my daughters as much as I would like to be. I'm not with my family as much as I would like to be. Sometimes they resent it, what have you. I don't care. And you know why I don't care? Because I grew up starving. And as a result of that, anything that I do to ensure the well-being of my family moving forward, even in the event that I'm not around, as selfish as that may be, I'm willing to do it because I knew what it was like to grow up with nothing. These football players make those decisions every single day as men. Provide, protect. That's our number one priority. That's how most of us think. And that plays a role into the kind of decisions men make, even when they're deemed selfish, foolish, ill-advised, or whatever. It comes with it when you're a man.
But look, when it comes down to it, gentlemen, don't let all the bullshit, whatever they say, all the hateful rhetoric, whatever happens to you, don't let it change who you are fundamentally as a man. If you do, if you let what happens to you change who you are and let it make you go against your own code, then they win, and none of what we talk about here matters. And putting up with all that bullshit, that's what we're built for, you know? So be good. Give a shit about people. Protect those who can't protect themselves. Have a little honor. Have a code. Try your best in everything you do. Stay the fucking course, gentlemen, and don't give up.
Don't be a woman, be a man.
Seemingly America, a man's advocate I hitherto never heard of, has been caught voicing how she really feels about men. Don't take it from me.
Dude, we are these men's replacement moms, their replacement girlfriends, their replacement psychiatrists. Just man the fuck up, you motherfuckers. The men that say, you know, I was falsely accused of this, I was falsely accused of this. And they were falsely accused of fucking anything. You know, God forbid we show our emotions for 2 seconds during Men's Mental Health Month, because, you know, it's all about men.
You know, that's the thing with man and women. I shall be a little crude for the sake of brevity, but still more than elaborate enough for the sake of the argument. A man's evolutionary survival strategy is to punch the problem until the threat is deterred. A woman's evolutionary survival strategy is to employ false allegations, threat narratives, deceit, perjury, meddling with evidence, screaming and crying, and painting herself to perpetually be the victim of circumstance till some gullible simp cuck comes a-running and does her bidding. There are indeed good women out there. Sane, compassionate, reasonable, and dignified. The only problem is, they are both accounted for. And your chance of tracking down unicorn number 3 is, let's call it, statistically unlikely. Because they can be both. They can have compassion, let's assume for the moment that this one does, and yet still rather go for the biggest dickers with all the wrist, the swag, and the jawline that cuts through panties like a hot knife through butter. So my recommendation shall be, focus on your own well-being. Focus on what gives you a sense of joy, safety, meaning, and accomplishment. Not just will loving yourself first and foremost score you brownie points with the bitches, you also have to live your life while you have it, cause you only get one. Germany, still a feminist shithole. Get out while you can. Argentina, still a oh, someone give this guy a beer and a blowjob cause daddy's cleaning house. Whee! United States, still a feminist shithole. Get out while you can. India, still a... Well, good luck, humanity. We will need it. Channel 69 XY News.